Okay.
Action. So, we decided to do a couples Q&A. We both put stuff on our stories and people responded with questions. We kind of organised them into themes. Obviously, we're bodybuilders, we're a couple. I take steroids and she doesn't. So
that was actually one of the biggest things.
There's a dynamic.
Yeah. Very interesting stuff.
That's about it. So we're going to embarrass ourselves and delve into a little bit for people's entertainment.
Yeah.
And I guess our entertainment as well, really.
Yeah. If you guys...
Why am I sweating?
Yeah, it's fucking... it's on the spot, this. I'm not a fan. Can we not? Okay. If you guys don't follow us, because obviously this is YouTube, if you guys don't follow us on Instagram, my Instagram is Hannah_Team Pose with Hannah. I am a posing coach, international, award-winning, with a team of 5 other incredible coaches. So you can find us over there or on the website. We'll put all the links below. And yourself?
My Instagram is the same as my YouTube channel. I'm a bodybuilder and I'm a coach.
An incredible coach. Okay, we're going to
A mediocre coach and pretty large bodybuilder.
We're just going to dive straight into it. Do you want to ask the first question?
Are we starting at the top and going down?
Yeah. So what was the kind of almost first, like...
So the first
training
is all training and stuff.
Yeah, nice.
So...
This is not a flat or an angle for me.
Well...
Let me just sit forwards.
I'm twice as heavy as you. You're small.
You actually are almost 3 times, probably.
No.
The bed says different.
Maybe.
Anyway.
So, how do your training approaches differ as Natty and Enhanced?
I actually love this one, because this is something that I think we have actually quite a similar approach in so many certain aspects, and then other things we have to accept the way that we are.
Yeah, I think we're quite sad. We spend a lot of time talking about training.
Yeah.
Outside.
Yeah, we actually
in
do.
our downtime.
Yeah. Those late nights when everyone's winding down, we'll start discussing training principles.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to go into it first, considering yours is probably a bit more boring than mine?
Yeah, so that's probably like the main bracket that we'll almost see it as. Nat sees mine as more boring and more accurate, and being completely honest, like from an outsider perspective, that's probably what people do see. Like mine is a lot more accurate, a lot more like structured. Like I would never go off my training plan. Like my training plan doesn't change. I don't swap exercises out. And I can't really like grip and rip things. Obviously, I'm currently in a prep, so that is also one of the biggest influences right now. Like I'm very anal about everything that I do in the gym, aren't I? Like, yeah. What?
Don't look at me.
Yeah, so that's probably the biggest difference, isn't it? The fact that I'm very like to the book. Like for a pure ease example, like I use a logbook, whereas you'll be like, okay, I'm going to do this today.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about training for hours. You know this.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, I've got very strong views on training. I'm not totally in the meter camp, and I'm not totally in the science camp. I'm kind of in this area in the middle, where the underlying base of training is full stop. You cannot get out the park of you've got to train really fucking hard, and you have to get stronger across all rep ranges. Bottom line, progressive overload. Don't be a bitch. But the science aspect is you have to take into account things like recovery. You have to take into account biomechanics, weaknesses, all that kind of shit. So I mean, the key difference at the moment is I'm very intuitive with my training, in that I will go in the gym. I don't logbook because, like you say, I can flip and flop exercises if I want to. I do have a training split that I've written that I follow quite religiously.
Yeah, I probably said that a little bit too flippantly, to be fair.
But if something doesn't feel right, I will fuck it off and do something else. I'm not tied to something.
And I think the biggest difference is as well, like you're at the heaviest you've ever been. So it's kind of like... at times you're pushing. It's actually a very interesting topic because we're pushing the envelopes from both sides here. You're the heaviest you've ever been, and I'm in a prep. So like both of those, we were speaking about this last night. Like both of those were they're a fragile state, right? Like you have to be a little bit like cautious of both sides of that, right? So even though like you're saying you've got like you're in between meathead and also science, I would also say compared to a lot of natural athletes, let's be honest, me too, like I am a bit of a meathead in terms of training. Like how many times do I get told off by my coach about that I shouldn't have taken the last rep, I shouldn't have taken the last 3 because they're like grind reps, things like that. So I think that's why we get on so well with regards to training, because I'm not a only science-based person, right? Like I still have to leave feeling like I've absolutely shagged myself. Yeah.
I think an interesting about that is like when we're saying pushing the envelopes both ends, like it's for different reasons. So Hannah's lean, recovery's compromised, she's tired, she's trying to retain the tissue she's got, she doesn't have obviously enhanced compounds to stop her being catabolic. Whereas the other end of the spectrum, I'm the heaviest I've been and in most cases the strongest I've been, which increases risk of injury. Where like it's at the point where I can walk in the gym and say, I want to do that today and I'll be able to move it. But the risk of injury is so high in that because the rate of progression is there, in that I'm touching weights and I'm just adding 5-10 kilos and reps every week to everything still, that shit does go snap occasionally.
Yeah.
And it's just the heavier you are, the more overall CNS stress there is. So the total reverse of being so lean is that I have to have lower volume, higher recovery capacity in place, because just moving and shifting load at the rate that I do now does create such a hole of fatigue that you got to balance.
That being said, putting you on the spot here, you said that I train harder than a lot of men.
Yeah. You train harder than most people do in the gym. Simple as. Like, there's failure and then there's failure.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But that goes back to my original point of you will not improve unless you do train differently.
You have to train fucking hard, yeah. It's
so I think,
regardless if you're natural or not, if anything, I just have to be more conservative about like, for if I do take a rep, I have to know for a fact that I'm going to be able to take that rep to a good enough standard that I'm not actually making myself not be able to get back in the gym 2 days later or whatever it is, right? That's probably the only thing.
That's what it is. Like, how do your training approaches differ? They don't. It's just one of us has to be a bit more anal with things like recovery and the other does, because I can basically get away with more than she can. But how we view training philosophies is very similar.
Yeah.
In that it's train fucking hard, do the basics, but do them right.
Yeah. Yeah. You basically you do everything like a natural athlete, but you just have assistance, which in my opinion is how assisted people should be. Too many people use drugs to mask their shit everything.
But they look like shit
and they look like shit. That's why you're massive. Anyway, so do you share coaches or keep that part of your journey separate? Third one. No, we don't share coaches. I've been coached by the same person for 5 and a bit years, and you're not coached.
I am my own coach.
Yeah.
So I check in with myself and send it to myself and go,
yeah,
you look like shit, or this is okay.
Yeah.
And then make changes.
Yeah. Okay, next one.
How do you support each other when your goals or timelines clash?
That's really good, because I guess they are clashing right now. Like, your peak off season and I'm prep. So
I disagree. I think that's actually perfect.
No, but that's what they mean by that. So in the sense that, you know, we're not prepping at the same time. We're not off season at the same time. So they're basically saying, like, how do we support each other if you're off season and I'm prep? Obviously, we haven't found it hard in the slightest, but they're asking, people might. Thoughts? Why do you think that's worked?
Oh God, I'll get the Bible out. bottom line is communication. We're very good at sitting down and being very open and aware of how each other's feeling and how things are going on, especially in a prep dynamic when someone is so compromised. And as much as Hannah Brave faces it and does do most of prep with a smile, it is clear when days are hard or days are good. And I think the way that I view it is it's really fucking simple in that, okay, at the moment she's pursuing something that is very fucking difficult to do. So the least I can do while I've got more food and energy is fucking help. So understand when they're having a bad day. Don't take things personally. Appreciate what they're trying to do, especially if you're someone that's been there before, and do the little things that extra that can make the day a little bit easier. And you know that it'll be returned down the line. And it's not a matter of transaction. It's just a matter of supporting your partner in their goals.
And you are like the most supportive person I've ever met in my life. Not even the most supportive partner, just the most supportive person. You know, I had a pure example. Don't blush. I had like a full day on Sunday with the team. Nat makes my meals every day, just because that's something that he enjoys to do, like, for me. So I had all my meals prepped for it. I then get back, I've got to finish off steps, which means I've got to do around 2 hours worth of steps. So then I get in from doing those steps.
What happened when you pulled up?
Oh yeah, when I pulled up, he came and met me outside, got my bags out the car. I then got in from steps. He'd run a bath for me, and when I came out the bath, my final meal was made. So it's like, I'm pretty speechless with the amount. That is such a small example as well. Like, the amount of support this man gives me is just, I can't put it into words, basically. And although it's not transactional, the feeling I have inside of like, I cannot wait to give back. Although there's certain things that I can do now, and I do try to do now, it's just nowhere near scratching the surface of how easy he's made this whole process. And so I can't wait I'm not saying I can't wait till you feel like shit, but I can't wait for those moments that, yeah, you literally never feel, but those times when maybe I can also be that help for you. You know, like little things like driving each other to the shows, and yeah, carrying bags, or like doing each other's tan. Like, I actually think that although we said we can't wait to prep with each other one day, yeah, it's just worked really well.
I think doing it different times does help. It's like, yeah, it's cool if you're both prepping together, you can pursue goals together and almost enjoy the suffering together, because we both have a very positive mindset towards it. Whenever anyone goes, oh, prep sucks, because if it does, you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
It's more along the lines of, if we're in different ends, then we do have the capacity to help the other person in the way that we want to, because it is just about supporting each other's goals. It's not about, like you say, he's not transactional in the slightest. It's just, if you don't want to support your partner, then you shouldn't be with them.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess right now, little things that maybe some people might struggle with, like, I make you have an off plan every week, and that's not because I'm someone that's wants to sniff the food. You know, I'm not there like, no, you need an off plan because I'm a feeder. I'm not a feeder, but I don't want his progress to be limited because I'm on a prep. So, you know, there's certain times where you may need me to make sure that you're continuing focusing on your own progress and pushing your own limits, right? Yeah.
I think it's more so you actually create the relaxation aspect of what we do, because I am very robotic when it comes to off-season and prep. There's no real change. So, like,
yeah,
even though you're in prep, you still remind me to, like, breathe in off-season, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, there's support. How do you support each other? Well, you support each other because you care about your partner and their goals.
Yeah.
Don't ever complicate it.
What do you admire most about each other's approach to the sport?
Oh, do you want me to go first? Or
yeah.
Me go first?
Yeah.
Okay. I say it to you quite a lot, don't I? I think it's, like, I've been around many people that have prepped, and it's how wholeheartedly Hannah enjoys and thrives and loves every aspect of the sport, like the good and the bad, the training, the diet, the discipline, like the box ticking, the accuracy. Like, she's very much 1% athlete through one, being natural, two, being in some places hormonally compromised, so you really can't get away with anything. You kind of have to do all the 1% that others don't have to. But you thrive in that, and there's not a single part of the sport that I don't see you enjoying. And I think that's what I admire most, is so many people like differ from us in that they will love, say, 80% of the sport or 90% of the sport. But I haven't heard you complain once at any point about anything you've had to do, either off season or prep, and I really like that.
That's nice.
Is it? Is that enough? It doesn't feel like enough.
That was enough. That was nice. Oh, wow. Okay.
Your turn.
But
Follow that up, bitch.
yeah.
I like that he's autistic.
No, what's
I like his shoulders.
No, what's the thing that I definitely admire you the most for is, well, probably not the most, because there's probably not a thing that's like at the top of the league table, so to speak, but you know, you haven't been on stage since 2022. That season was extremely successful. You know, instead of you being like focusing on the next time you are stepping on stage, all that you've thought about in these last almost 4 years has been like, how can I be better every single day? And I guess I don't want to copy you, but it is a similar thing of like, we've been at seminars and all sorts where people are moaning about, oh, what do you do when you just wake up and you don't feel like it? And we both look at each other like, stop doing the sport. Because yeah, I guess that's probably it. You know, not many people could be sitting quite comfortably at like 300, I say sitting at 300 pounds, eating over 7,000 calories on a normal day, every day, making sure that everything is done to its, you know, highest ability, nothing missed, no training sessions, you know, how much like love you have for the sport. If I had to bracket it would be like your love that you have for like the sport, and how I watch you work with your athletes as well, like, is just, yeah, that encompasses it, I would say.
I'll take it.
Right, so we put this next little like few questions into a relationship.
You've got more on your phone as well, don't you?
Oh yeah, relationship deep dive. You go into the first question. I'll have a look on.
How did you meet and who made the first move? Hannah likes feet.
I don't. I'm not into feet, but I popped up in quite a like. It was a very jokey way though. No.
Oh yeah.
It was. So Nat paints his toenails, which actually was one of the.
That's why it reminded me you got more on your phone.
Well, I thought I did, but
You screenshotted them.
Yeah, did I not send them across?
Nope.
Bollocks.
Amateur
hour. So yeah, Nat paints his toenails. Do you want to go into why? Because that was one of the questions.
Okay.
Because he fucking wants to. Get over it.
Kind of.
It's sexy because he does what he wants. No, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I was a fighter for many, many years, and not just like, oh, fight people in the street. I was a competitive mixed martial arts fighter at quite a high level from a young age until I was about 18, 19. And part of the kind of pre-fight tradition that we used to do, we used to paint our toenails in the club's colours, which were red and black, in the last few weeks of fight camp and for the fight. One, it was just a cool way to get like colours there. It was almost like a mental switch into like the last few weeks of fight camp. And there's some, I guess you could call it fighter bro science with strengthening your toenails so they don't break when you kick someone in the face. But I just hadn't done it for a while, and I did it one day when I was in a diet just to see if it had the same kind of mental switch effect, and it did. So I just kept doing it, and I like it. It's different. And then I extended that to doing my hands. I mean, I did one of them and not the other, but this one's kind of fell off. I redid this one. I just my toes were for just tradition reasons, but then I like it, so
Yeah. And I like it because I like people being like confident in what the fuck they want to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, as gay as it might sound, like their authentic selves, I think that's probably the most attractive thing someone could ever do. Like, if they want to do something,
I know
that's
I've got
sexy.
Quite a unique look anyway, being over 6 foot, quite large, shaved, tattooed. If I paint my fingernails as well, it just kind of adds to it.
What they're gonna do? What they're gonna do? Yeah, so that was one of the questions. Apparently, they're seeing it more and more in bodybuilding, but I don't think they are.
I think people were doing it.
I think it was just Christian Chapman did it.
No, that people were doing it in bodybuilding. I noticed it backstage at quite a few shows because like, it would stain the men's fingernails if they didn't. So I know they used to put clear nail polish.
Clear, yeah, but not black.
But some guys would just do it black just to like, cover it.
Oh, I see.
I know more men are doing it in general, just this whole kind of, I don't know, masculinity thing. But fuck it, it's no different from someone dyeing their hair.
Nah, not all. Okay, I guess because we were talking about training, so before we go into like the relationship side of it. Oh wait, no, we should finish the question
how
about
did you guys meet him?
So I replied to his story because he was pedaling, doing cardio when he was living on the farm. Something like free toes ? And then we were speaking for weeks, but I actually always thought, on a serious note, I actually thought it was completely on a friend's level, simply down to there was never any crossover, was there? There was never any like flirting in those first few weeks. It was all very like organic and very almost like spiritual to an extent. I think we started speaking.
Our first big conversation was around journaling.
Yeah.
Because we'd had a bit of back and forth, and then you put something up about mental health, and then I responded with me journaling at the time.
Yeah.
And then that started a whole spiral of conversation.
Yeah.
And oh shit, we actually kind of synergize.
Yeah. And then one evening we had a phone call and it lasted 3 hours. And then we had a phone call every evening that lasted around 3 hours. And then we met for the first time and I was there for 4 days. When it works, really. Yes.
You made the first move too.
Yeah, so I made the first move, I guess. Oh, when we saw each other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do what I want.
I want that one.
Yeah. So final question on training. Do you think that having a partner on gear may sway your decision to stay natural?
Can I partly answer that?
Yeah, go on.
I think to an extent you see some of the fun side of it in that you can see sometimes my training progression, or you can see the difference in certain drugs, or just like for me the fun of being an enhanced athlete is basically just a big experiment, because open bodybuilding is just cool. Who can be the biggest freak? And it's like and enhanced open bodybuilding is who can be the biggest freak with all the tools in the toolbox. So it's kind of like, fuck it, what do I want to play with and test? I think that's what makes it fun. But then on the flip side of that, yes, that might entice you, but then you also see me when I'm at peak dose, sitting at the table in the morning with 4 fucking syringes lined up, going, right, where the fuck do I put this? And then pre-bed every evening, like dealing with GH and taking T3 and T4 and all that kind of stuff, and you realise it's an admin nightmare, and it's also not fun. Yeah, you're right. I think it's given me an insight into like both sides. At the end of the day, if people don't know, like my shit being fake as well.
Yeah. So I've obviously seen the fact that it can be fake, which obviously is something that I wouldn't be excited about. So as Nat just said, like it is basically like a big experiment. And if people don't know, my actual history is I was a cancer pharmacologist, so that is actually like a legal drugs person. Fucking nerd. Anyway, so off the back of that, my actual job role was a specialist within research and development. So if anything, seeing experiments, running experiments. That's why I think I enjoy bodybuilding so much too. Like, it's basically my own experiment. That's why I love the 1% of everything, because there are no variables in my life. If my weight changes, it is a weight change. Or like it's a hormonal thing. It's nothing down to I haven't drank enough water, or I changed my something source of carb, or it's everything is the same every single day, because that means there's no variables, and that's how a science experiment should be led. And so seeing all that, it is intriguing to an extent. I have enjoyed, we speak about it loads. We speak about it quite a lot. Like, we discuss his dosages. Like, yes, I may not be someone that's got the actual experience, but we mentioned at the beginning that we have very open communication. Nat's drugs dosages can get quite high, and we'll sit there and we'll kind of almost have a reflection of the week of like, has he been any different? Has there been any changes to like our mood or things like that, right? And so we're very open on that side. But you're so right, it has shown me almost like the other side of things. So I wouldn't say it swayed me in any way, shape or form. But there are elements where I see him train the way he trains. And I've said it how many times, like, when I see how he trains, I wish I could train like that.
I trained like that when I was natural as well, though.
Well, yeah, but you know that I can't. Yeah. Like, I've in off season, even if I train how I actually want to train, I just have to
weekly deload.
Yeah, pretty much, right? So I wish I could train that way, and I have tried it, and I just can't, basically. Oh, it's because we're on the settee.
Come
on then. Basically, we have a routine, and if we're on this settee, it usually means it's 7:30 and we're having our last meal. And Ron always comes for cuddles. Always sleepy. Running up. Come on in. Oh. Up. There we go. Oh, right, okay. So, what's the thing?
I got it.
Right, next question.
What are we doing in the relationship one still?
Yeah. What's his tail?
Right, well, I'm unplugging the laptop. You're safe now. He's wagging like a fucking cracker.
What's the next one?
What's your love language, and do they match?
Sorry. Well, I know yours.
Mine's the same as Ron's.
You say yours.
No, I think say about each other and then see if it relates.
Okay. What's mine?
I don't know.
I don't think I have one.
Action.
Huh?
Not suitable for work.
What?
Not suitable for YouTube.
What, my acts of service? Are you going to say blowjobs?
Well, not on prep.
No, what were you going to say?
What am I answering first?
Yeah.
What was your love language? There's so many ways I could answer this. So in prep, obviously, it's very different because you Ron, what the fuck are you doing? He's halfway off, so he's cute. So in prep, it's different. Obviously, you're kind of neurologically compromised, so things like unconscious action that you do in relationships aren't necessarily there. So I'm going to speak about it in terms of off season because that's, I think, when you're most genuinely you.
Yeah.
So for you, I think the main one that changes between off season and prep that is most prevalent is a lot of your love language is touch.
Yeah.
Heavily.
Yeah.
Like you are very kind of like hands-on, show affection, I'm close to you, I'm with you, that kind of thing, in general. But I think a lot of time, for me anyway, the way that I receive it is your key love language is kind of I guess just kind of support in a partner sense in kind of how you make me feel with the language you use around me and the context when we speak about kind of believing in me and my goals more than I do so myself, and your support in that aspect. I see that as a love language in a sense, because it's like just unwavering support and unwavering belief in your partner, if that can be seen as a love language. I guess that's how I feel love from you.
Yeah.
Or how it's perceived from me. But
Yeah.
I think if you strip it down to basics, love language is touch for you in off season. But that's more how I perceive it from you. I think it's touch, and then the how you support me in terms of who I am and what I want to do, and how you make me feel.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's good. That was very well explained for someone who has not many cogs right now. Yours is definitely touch, like affection.
It's because you're fit.
And also acts of service.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah.
And why is that?
Because sometimes you don't have the words to express how much I mean to you, so you like to do things to show that instead.
Yeah. Good answer.
Okay. What's next? Oh, how do you balance intimacy and stress during prep? So, I mean, I can answer this. It doesn't even need to be long. I think everyone knows the short of it. Like, at the start of prep, nothing really changes. Like, maybe the first, I don't know, 2 months or something.
Yeah.
Nothing changes really. But it's after that when
It's a big boy.
Yeah, it's definitely after that. Like Nat said, like I'm not necessarily moody in a prep or go on then. Oh, he does the stretchy boy thing. I'm not necessarily moody or sad or anything like that in a prep. But your body will naturally decide where to put its energy. And like complete honesty, like I know we're recording this right now, but we're very busy. Like we pretty much plan 6 a.m. till 7:30 p.m. every single day to ensure that we can do everything. Obviously we don't plan sex, but like off the back of that, my body will kind of put energy towards those things instead. Also, I mean, you see how much I'm currently eating. And I'm doing 19.5k steps a day and training. So,
yeah,
I don't really have like the energy. Okay, you go.
It comes down to
I'm not like lean.
You are though. It comes down to understanding and supporting your partner as well. So I think a lot of people might, unless they've been there, they probably won't have an understanding of how it feels. In that they say, I prepare Hannah's food, I see how much she does in a day. I'm very aware of the kind of the what do I call it, the expenditure, the input to output difference that's happening on a day-to-day basis. And I understand that kind of intimacy and sex drive, I guess, is something the brain will naturally kind of compartmentalise and go, do I actually have the capacity for this right now? So yes, it does die off, but it's also understanding as to why I'm not taking it personally. Because when she's eating, we fuck like rabbits, so I don't really care. Oh no, what is it? Oh no, maybe twice a week for 12 weeks. How dreadful. Just fucking grow up and support your partner.
I think the other side of it is, like, without us trying to shout about the relationship, like, we do communicate probably the most I've ever known about anything. And, you know, even if I'm having quiet days, I'll even say to you, won't I? Just to let you know, I'm having a quite quiet day today that I know I don't have, like, the words necessarily. And I'll notice that because we'll be having a conversation and instead of me actually responding to the conversation, I'll just be saying, yeah. And I'll usually say I'm having a quiet day so that Nat doesn't take, not that he would anyway, but so that he doesn't take any of it personally, because that's actually really important. Because if you imagine, if you're in that surrounding all the time, that environment where someone's not actually making conversation with you, you may feel like you've done something wrong, or, you know, yeah, that you're boring them or something like that. So just actually saying to them, by the way, you've done absolutely nothing wrong. I'm just letting you know that I'm having a bit of a quiet day today.
I think we've answered a few of these. Like, how do you balance
Yeah.
between stress and prep?
Yeah.
Comes out of communication.
One of the ones that I did want to actually speak about as well is obviously, I guess we have had both sides, but maybe not to the end of prep for me right yet. But I've seen you very lean and I've seen you very big. You've seen me pretty much peak off season to now. You know, we joke about it all the time of like basically having multiple partners. Do you have a preferred? 83 kilo Hannah, or like, well, I'm currently 65, but I do get down to 57 kilo. So
whichever one you're most comfortable at.
you're so cute.
That's bullshit. Which
Yeah, I know it's bullshit anyway because you tell me. There's different elements for different reasons, isn't there?
Yeah, like every kind of phase that you go through is attractive for a different reason. But if I was to pick one, it'd probably be that kind of
middle ground.
The between 70 and 80 kilo. I guess. I mean,
I guess that's just well, because at the end of the day, that would be
I don't have a preference. I mean, it's like we said, there are differences right now that can add layers of stress or difficulty to a relationship as you're going through prep. So it's like if you could take what you look like now, but add the brain of you when you were heavier.
Well, there's also like, let's be honest, the prep side of things isn't necessarily affecting me. It's like all the other external things in terms of business, in terms of the house move, in terms of all the investigations that are going on right now. So it's going to like naturally cause stress, isn't it? Like your brain.
Yeah. It's the difference. So,
but then when you do have more food, you've got the ability to process all of that anyway, don't you? So yeah.
So how do you balance it? You talk a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're sexy as fuck when you're massive, but then when you were peeled, it just pretty much blew my mind every day. So you weren't very different at all. I say prep, you know what I mean, because you were skinned. You were leaner than most people are on stage, so it's not really a question.
But it goes back to what you say about just enjoying the process.
Yeah, for sure. And enjoying elements of the partner for different reasons. Like I think seeing me as well dig, it's like you respect it, don't you? It's like it's
attractive.
Yeah. It's like the work ethic instead of the actual physical attraction.
No, it's both. It's like I've said to you before. There's a physical attraction to both you being peeled and you being heavy as fuck, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
But there is the mental attraction to the whole thing is very similar, but it's also the respect of the work that it takes to get there and the understanding of what it takes to be in that position, both heavy and being peeled.
Yeah. Nice. I think we should leave that there. We could do a part 2, but that's 40 minutes.
Like fucking 4 questions.
Yeah, I know, but 40 minutes. I think that's good enough for part 1. If you guys want a part 2, then let us know. I mean, we're just sitting here. I don't even think we'll edit this. There's nothing to edit.
Definitely do a podcast.
Should we do a podcast? Starbucks and Stips Legs. But on a serious note, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I hope it answered a few of your questions. We're going to be doing a lot more on the YouTube. And we have something very exciting lined up that we're going to actually release. Well, I don't know when this YouTube is going to go live, let's be honest. But we've got something quite exciting that's going to be released. So keep your eyes out for that as well. I'm going to do the really cliche thing. I know you're going to cringe, so you can hide if you want. But give it a like. I'm used to it because of the podcast. Give it a like. Give it a comment. Give it a subscribe as well, actually, and share this shit on your stories. And if you do want to see anything in particular, I'm trying to get Nat to actually do a day in the life eating my prep diet.
I dropped 15 pounds.
How funny would that be? Post show, we're doing a day in the life of me eating his meal, and I won't even struggle. So,
Fuck him.
yeah. But yeah, let us know if you've got any ideas of anything you'd like to see, and we'll see you next time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom.